everybody. Welcome to BYOB, the Bring Your Own Book podcast. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Nikki.
And today we have something a little bit different for you. We are going to talk today about some of our bookish and movie and TV, so like overall story, let's say, preconceived notions or biases that we just can't help but have, okay? So I'm talking, maybe some of these will be hot takes. I don't know. I'm sure we will have some hot takes between the two of us.
Yep.
But I just feel like Nikki and I have so many complaints about things that we need to air some of these grievances. Like, this is our Festivus, okay?
Yeah, we are really good at complaining and ranting.
Yes.
But we were talking about before we started recording that we had a hard time making our lists because if we're not doing this in an organic environment, it's really hard to compile.
Yes!
What would we complain about were we together?
Yeah, so I sat down with Scott and he helped me brainstorm a bit of a list because like you said, we have so many things. We know we have so many things that we're like, "Oh, this just grinds my gears," or "I refuse," or whatever.
Yeah.
For no reason. Sometimes there's a reason. Most of the time it's just like, I just feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
You can't convince me.
Yeah. And the thing is if someone told me, oh, well, that's not right because of whatever, I don't care.
No.
It doesn't matter to me.
Did I ask?
Right? I feel how I feel, and maybe I feel good feeling that way. And
yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Like, whatever. I guess like negativity is like not good for you. I don't think this is negativity. Okay.
No. If you don't want to be negative right now, come back later when you're feeling a certain type of way about something.
Yeah. We would love to know what you feel a certain type of way about because we got a lot of things we feel a certain type of way about. So,
and we're just doing very niche topics this time. Like we're not even gonna rant about all of the other things in life. We're just keeping it to like art, essentially.
Yes. Yeah, because
visual
if we
art.
Yeah, I guess.
Performative art.
/ books.
Yeah,
storytelling.
and books.
Narrative. Icks. I don't know. And all related to that hitherto, whatever.
Yeah.
Because like we could just sit here all day and just like live stream us complaining. Like we are the old, well, I'll say, we are the old men on the park bench in those TD commercials saying, "No banks open on Sundays," you know?
Yeah.
At least that's how I feel.
And I even kind of feel that way about the bank. So
right? Yes.
Who goes out Monday to Friday during work hours to bank? You're all working.
Right?
Everybody's already at work.
You're only making deposits for whatever business you work for. Nothing personal. Literally. Unless you have to book time off. I can't. I have to go to the bank. I can't. I have to do an errand for my personal life because I can't do it because I have to work to fund said personal life.
Yep.
Make it make sense. Like,
I know. Unless you bank with TD, then they're open on Saturday.
Well, I don't bank with TD.
I do.
Do you? What the fuck? Not sponsored. They just had
the TD, you should sponsor us.
I don't know. They just had a huge friggin' fraud scandal in the States. Yeah.
Really? Toronto Dominion Bank is in the States?
Yes. Yes.
That's weird
it's like
to me.
Billions of dollars. Yeah. Yeah.
Americans.
So maybe not sponsor us.
Only the Canadian side. Whoever wasn't involved in the fraud, sponsor us. Or Scotiabank. I bank with you too.
Sure.
I love your scene points. Give me some more. Anyway, this isn't about banking.
Yeah.
But just an example of some of the things we can get fired up about.
Yes. And like, honestly though, we blurb so many products and websites and things that we have no friggin' like, we're not getting anything from it. I'm like, we are either the best advertisers or the worst.
I think probably the latter, because we're not getting anything for it.
That's how you know you can trust us, because we're not getting anything from it.
No, zero things.
All that being said, okay, I feel like I'm just going to dive in
Yeah.
to one of my hottest of topics for myself,
Mm-hmm.
which pisses Scott off to no end whenever we have to pick a movie to watch, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand movies that take place within 24 hours.
Yep.
I can't stand it. I'm talking about, okay, so some popular examples are Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Hate
Okay.
it.
I love it.
I I fucking hate it so much. I can't stand Ferris, but the main reason is because I feel like when it's a movie and it takes place within one day, the pacing is so off for me that I'm just like, I am bored. I am so over this. This day feels so freaking long. So Ferris Bueller's Day Off, um, The Breakfast Club. I can't stand that movie. That's a whole other topic because I never could relate to that movie.
Oh, I like that movie too.
See? But everyone around me is like, I love that movie. I'm like, I hate it so much. I hated well, okay, I didn't hate, but super bad. I've seen it all the way through once. I don't need to see it again.
Does it take place in one day?
Yes,
I've
it's
seen it so
so
many times and I don't
long.
remember that.
Oh, I feel I'm like 99% sure it takes place in one day because they're like, we got to go to this party,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So whether it's, I think it's like 24 hours, like from end of school day to the morning after or something. I don't know, of that party, maybe.
Right.
But like, I can't stand it. I like, we'll go through movies of like, what do you want to watch? I'm like, nope. Takes place in one day. Nope. Groundhog's Day, that same day repeats over and over. I'm not going to watch it.
That's what I was going to say. I don't have a problem with movies that take place in one day, but I hate movies that repeat.
Mm,
Groundhog Day, Looper is like that too,
I've never seen
but
it.
it's not like one day. It's like moments where he keeps going back. It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Okay.
There was that one, oh, Before I Fall. Hated it.
Before I
Hated it so
fall.
much. Labor Day. Anyway,
Oh,
I hate those movies. I'm like,
right?
I didn't like it the first time you went through the day. I'm not gonna like the 20th time you go through the day.
Honestly, just make the right choice the first time. No, I'm kidding.
Or accept the consequences of your own actions. I
Yes.
think in Before I Fall, she dies, but like, I don't like,
Is
I
this like
can't
a
really remember.
romance, like a sad romance or something? I have no clue.
She like sees somebody get hit by a car. No, I think that's it. She sees someone get hit by a car or
What?
something, and then she keeps like reliving the day to see if she can like save this girl. And there's a party, and she has a boyfriend, and he's kind of shitty. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter because it's
What?
stupid.
Ew. See,
Yeah.
I hate that. There's so many movies I have never seen and never will because I
Yep.
hear in the synopsis, oh, this crazy day. Nope. Don't
Nope.
care. Don't care. The only movies, because I tried to think, are there any movies that are like 24 hours long, if you will, that I like? Speed, Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. So intense. That's like high stakes action.
Yep.
Do you know Speed?
I don't know Speed, but I know that they had a crush on each other when they were filming it, and they didn't know. And so they could have potentially ended up together, but they didn't.
Okay, that so tracks because you could the chemistry is palpable. Okay.
Yeah.
She's a bus driver. There's a bomb on the bus, and if the bus goes below 50 miles an hour, it's going to explode. And so he comes on the bus. He's like, you can't go slower than 50 miles an hour. And they're like trying to block traffic so she can keep driving. And she's like, I'm running out of gas. And all these crazy things happen.
Wow.
That's intense. Yes, that warrants a shorter duration of plot. Okay.
Yep.
Die Hard, Christmas Eve or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Love Die Hard. 24 hours. Again, high stakes action thriller.
Have you ever seen the show 24, where every
No.
episode takes place in 24 hours? Your
Fuck
nightmare? And it's always like a ticking like bomb kind of situation.
No, I have not. You know what? I'm not going to. That's hilarious, Nikki.
Your magnum opus, like, of hated.
If someone needs to bring me down, that's what they'll do. They'll put me in a chair, strapped to the chair, watching things that are taking place in one day.
Until you think your whole life is one day. That could be like a really niche Saw movie.
Oh.
Like, instead of getting physically tortured, you're getting emotionally tortured by media you hate.
And we're feeding them all the tools they need with this episode.
Don't tell them where we live.
Please. Oh my god, no. Okay, take it away, Nikki. I have to get off this topic.
Okay. I read The Wife Upstairs last year, and I will never read another Frida McFadden book ever again.
Yes.
I feel like, while this might not be a hot take, it is a very polarizing one.
Mm-hmm.
Her books are trash. They're plagiarized from other books. And I try really hard to be like, whatever people like to read, it's what they like to read. And as long as you're reading, that's great.
Yeah.
Not this time. People, and this is like where I'm gonna like say a book snob opinion, and nobody can tell me that like you don't have book snob opinions. Everybody does. They just keep them in here. But I'm gonna let mine out. If you say that you are a thriller reader and you love Frida McFadden, I judge you. Because if you really like to read thrillers, you would find people who are better than her and realize that her books aren't very good. There you go.
I agree because, okay, I feel like if you are just dipping your toe in and she's everywhere and you have never read a thriller and you're like, I've heard she's a thriller writer. I'm going to read it. Great. And then you read something else. That's how I feel. I totally agree.
Yep. Because really, like, I'm going to say it kind of in the same breath. If she's what gets you into reading the genre, it's a great genre. There are a lot of amazing authors and a lot of amazing plots out there.
Mm-hmm.
And if she's what gets you into it, so happy for you. Yeah. But just when you get into the wide world of it, just stop. Like, hold her in your heart as a fond memory, but not as the status quo of what a thriller book should be.
No!
Because if you read the books that she's taking the plots from,
inspired by,
they're better than the ones she's writing.
This is like, why would you continue to buy the massive tub of no-name ice cream for $3 that tastes okay when you could buy a smaller tub for $5 that tastes 10 times better?
Yep.
I don't know.
To get even more into that, her books cost the same amount as books that are way better than hers. So
yeah. So what is the excuse?
Spend $25 on a different book.
Yes.
Also,
or go to the library.
Yeah. Do a little bit of research on like who's writing good books. If they have like 50 books out, maybe they're probably really good. Not true. I take that back.
No. No, because that leads me to James Patterson.
Oh, yeah?
Is he on your list? Because he's on mine.
He's not on my list, but I've never read a book by him. Mm-hmm. My dad likes his books, I believe. Like, I think my mom's read some. But I've never read a James Patterson book. And I'm not really entirely sure what he writes. I don't even really know, like, what is his niche. Like, John Grisham writes law books.
Yeah.
Does James Patterson have, like, a niche like that?
You know, I don't think he does, because I think he just tries to saturate as much of the market as he can. Mm-hmm. So from, like, a business standpoint, I'm like, good for you, dude. You're making money. He and Stephen King hate each other, which I think is hilarious and also, like, so immature.
Well, I'm on Steve's side, no matter what, so...
Because,
My
like,
boy
you're
Steve.
grown-ass men. You know what I mean? Like, could you
Yep.
calm down and just, like, sell your books? But that's why I'm like, I think it's hilarious, but it's also like, please.
Do you know why they hate each
But
other?
I feel like I'll have to double check after, like, fact check myself, but I'm pretty sure Stephen King has said on record that he thinks James Patterson can't write. So he's just like, I don't like this. I don't like
Well,
this
I
guy.
mean, he said on record that Stephanie Meyer can't write, so I mean, not that I'm disagreeing, but I still love Twilight. Like, totally separate
Yes.
issue.
That
Um,
first book was great. That first book was great.
it got us hooked.
It did, yeah. So, but okay, I have James Patterson on my list because I also have never read anything by him, but he has
Mm,
so many books out and all the covers look so boring that I'm like, I don't want to read this. I wrote down the book covers look like something my friends' parents would have kept in the back of their car or in their bathroom magazine rack for when they need to read something to pass the time. That's what it gives me. And I'm
yeah,
like, you know what? I don't want to read that.
the poop book.
Yes.
Yeah,
And like friggin' Dolly Parton. She
yeah,
released a book with him. You don't need James Patterson, you're Dolly Parton.
yeah. That
Like,
was weird to me, and I'm just like, why do
right?
you need to write a book, Dolly? Why can't you just
Or if you
stay in your
do,
lane?
just do it.
Yeah,
You don't need James. You're way bigger than James Patterson. Are you kidding
yeah.
me?
That's
I
pretty
Will Always
weird.
Love You, Islands in the Stream,
Yeah,
everything else she's done. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. So,
yeah.
but also he has like, how Rick Riordan has an imprint or whatever where it's like Rick Riordan presents
Mm-hmm.
this book. When I worked at Chapters, those books go under the author's name. It doesn't go under Rick Riordan.
Right.
James Patterson, it goes under James Patterson. Mhm.
That's shitty.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
just
like
like
it.
taking from people that you think their
Mhm.
work is good, where like Rick Riordan's highlighting people and like giving them an opportunity. I feel
Mhm.
like, at least that's how I feel. He has a
Yeah.
very large name, and if somebody writes a book that he feels is good for middle grade, he can help promote them so that they can succeed on their own.
Yeah.
I think that's the point. But
Yeah.
that's shitty of James.
Right? That's how it comes off because maybe, like, sure, maybe he is using his name to get more eyes on this lesser known person's work.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, if people don't know that it's by them still because their name is smaller on the book than James, it
Yeah.
is. Um, I also want to know, like, what is the monetary breakdown here? Because they should be getting more money than he is because
Yeah,
it's
they
their
wrote the
book,
thing.
right? So it just comes across, like you're saying, just not great. And
Yeah,
yeah, that's why
that's
I'm just
icky.
like, yeah. So I don't know. We were always so annoyed whenever we had to like put his books on the shelf because there's no friggin' room.
Yep.
Why do we have so many of his books? Like,
Because no one's buying them. Watch me read a James Patterson book someday and be like, he's my favorite author. Like, I know I'm gonna get fucking burned like that.
well, I'll put on a huge coat and say, hell must have frozen over. Bundle up, okay? There's no way. There's no way, I
Oh
swear.
my gosh. Okay.
Lay it on me. I think I know what you're going to say.
Do you?
Maybe.
This is TV centric.
Oh, no.
I have no interest, like below zero interest, in watching the Rings of Power series because they are not like the Peter Jackson movies.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I To preface, if people haven't listened to our Lord of the Rings series,
Mm-hmm.
I know a bit about Lord of the Rings, okay? I'm not saying this as someone who like watched the cinematic cut of Peter Jackson's movies and was like, these are the best things ever. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, and didn't even know that Aragorn actually broke his toe when he kicked that out.
It's important.
It
At least.
is, yes. Thank you. Thank you for telling
Or
me.
that the significance of Galadriel giving Gimli her hair is because Fëanor asked her to give her hair for the Silmarils, and she was like, no fucking way. And then she gave it to a dwarf. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, all of that to say, I know what I'm talking about a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but Peter Jackson just did it better. Did
Mm-hmm.
he represent the characters the way that they probably should have been represented from the books? No, specifically the elves. They're so scary, people can't even look at them. And then
Mm.
they cast Kate Blanchett, who's beautiful and
And
ethereal,
Orlando
but not,
Bloom.
yeah, but not so scary, like so beautiful, scary that you can't look at them. You want to look
Just
at
so
them.
beautiful you can't look at them because you're like, oh
Yeah,
God.
yeah. So, yes, I understand that he also didn't do that, but he did give the Balrog wings that were not used, which I appreciate because the Balrog can't fly, and I will go to my deathbed saying that. That's something that's been argued on Reddit for so many years, and
Yes.
I am on the wings for looks train with that, not
Yeah.
wings for function.
No.
Anyway, I watched the first episode of The Rings of Power. I was so underwhelmed. I can just read
Mm.
the stories and imagine what I want to imagine, and you can't make me watch them. Boom.
Good for you. It's like a
Yeah.
lot to watch anyway. We watched, I think, almost the whole first season. We didn't see the last 2 episodes, and I have no
Mm-hmm.
desire to continue it.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, it was fine. There were parts that I was like, oh, this is intense. But there was also a lot where I was like, this background looks CGI. They look
Right.
like they're in a sound stage with like 3 props and then a green screen.
Right.
And you have a huge budget, Amazon. What is this?
Well,
Like,
also,
ugh.
when Peter Jackson, this is the thing. Peter Jackson made these movies in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, yeah, can you tell now when you watch on a large screen sometimes that things are like a little weird?
Sure.
Yeah, but for the most part, I don't notice. I can't
Yeah.
tell when they're romping around New Zealand for real or they're on a soundstage for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like huge. That was 20 years ago, 20 plus years. And those
Mm-hmm.
movies have held up so well and they're so
Yeah.
iconic. And it could be the time in my life that they came out, but I don't think so.
No.
Um,
The
and
practical
there's,
effects,
yeah,
they won so many Academy Awards because it was well earned. Like, it
yeah,
does hold up. It totally holds up. Like, he is now synonymous with Lord of the Rings. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And the people who are in the Rings of Power just look like they know what a cell phone is, and that's weird.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
weird. I don't want that from my elves
Yeah. That is so true.
or my
Honestly, like,
hobbits or anybody. Like,
that is so true. You know what? On that vein, I feel like maybe this is stupid to say, but sometimes I wish that these new projects they wouldn't film with such high def cameras because
mm,
it almost takes away from it sometimes because it's like, girl, I can see your makeup creasing and it's not
yeah,
your fault. I'm not saying fix it. It's like
yeah,
I shouldn't be able to see every little thing because now I'm losing the story in these real life details when
right.
I want to be whisked away, you
Well, that's
know?
the thing, right? Like, um, some sometimes things just aren't meant to be seen, and that's
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. Like,
Not saying we have to go back to a square television, but like
yeah.
we could leave
Rabbit
some
ears.
things for mystery.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God. That's what makes like having the high def cameras is what's making me be like, she's too old for this role or whatever,
Yeah,
because it's like, I can literally see everything. And it's not your fault. I'm not saying you look too old. No, it's like you can only pass for a certain amount of years or like a certain age range on screen.
right.
On stage, it's different because you're not right up there, you know?
Once you're
So,
starting to get like, and everybody gets them, everybody gets crow's feet and stuff, but once you're starting to
yeah.
get that and they're zooming in on your face and you're like, I'm 21, I don't
Yeah.
believe you.
and there's nothing wrong with your crow's feet. It's just like,
No.
this is screen. It's seeing
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
So, yeah. Because I
If
felt
you
like
want to
that with some
be
Lord of the
30
Rings.
playing a 12-year-old, go to Broadway. They need
Yeah.
you. They need you
Yeah.
there for labor laws and stuff.
Yes. Oh my God. And sorry, I meant Rings of Power, not Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is great. Rings of Power is what I felt like. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I don't
Totally
know. They're
agree.
like, I mean, obviously I only watched the first episode, so I cannot say.
Mm.
And maybe that's why this is a hot take, because I literally shut it down 40 minutes in and I was like,
Yeah.
that was enough for me.
You know what? I feel the exact same way about House of the Dragon. I watched the first episode. I don't care to continue. I really don't.
I felt that way too. I felt like Game of Thrones was so dark and gritty, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't read the books, but I really liked the show, the first like 6 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And watching
Yeah.
House of the Dragon, I was like, this is so polished. Again, they look like they know what a cell phone is. I don't know how to describe that. Like they look too modern. They looked
Yeah.
like people from the 21st century who got dressed up.
You know what? Part of it might be the makeup, the
Yeah.
costuming, not like the clothes, like their makeup. Because it's
Hmm.
like, okay, we get it. You know how to
Modern.
contour.
Yeah.
Yes, but like,
But people weren't contouring back then. They just
no.
had fat faces and they dealt with it.
Yes, you think they're contouring in Middle Earth?
Yeah.
Get out of here. They're not
And
putting on a
maybe,
bronzer. Like,
yeah, maybe the reason they didn't have that problem in Game of Thrones is because everyone was dirty all the time.
they were
Like
all about to
everybody,
die any
yeah,
moment.
everybody just looked freaking filthy. And it was like, well, you don't need a contour when you have dirt. So,
Yeah, literally. Or bruises on your face.
yeah, yeah,
When I
that I
got
agree.
my wisdom teeth out, I had bruises here, and it looked
Oh,
like natural contour. It's like green. It was like
have
wicked
anything else you
contour.
can take out of here to keep this going? It's like, how'd you lose all your teeth? Well, uh,
But Kate, like House of the Dragon, I know so many people who are like, it's so good. I'm like, I don't care. Because
yeah.
I also loved the vast majority of Game of Thrones until it like was so stupid at the end when I was
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, what a waste of my time and my life. I felt so upset, but anyways, so betrayed. But like the first episode of House of the Dragon, it was just like so violent and for no reason
Yeah.
that I was just like, I don't need to watch this. I already watched Game of Thrones. The excitement over this world is gone for me because the ending of the original series was so bad, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm just like, I don't care. Like, you can't convince me to watch this show. There's too
Yeah.
many shows on, and I only have X amount of hours in a day. Like,
Yeah.
it's not for
I
me.
agree. I totally
Thank
agree.
you.
What's your next hot take?
Okay, well, this is one that I know we both agree on. Like, we talked about it briefly together before. Sally Rooney. I don't know anything about her books other than she's very
Nothing.
popular.
And
I
she doesn't use
know,
punctuation.
well, quotation marks. I don't know if we can say all punctuation. Who fucking knows? I don't care. The fact that she doesn't use quotation marks, I don't care. Do you know why I don't care, Nikki?
Tell me.
Because I'm gonna. Okay. So I don't care because the fact that everyone, I've heard so many people say she doesn't use quotation marks. Oh my God. And her stories are so great. It's art with a capital A. Why do you
Mm-hmm.
need this gimmick to get your story noticed? Just
Yeah,
use the fucking quotation marks. Who cares?
I
It doesn't
know.
impact the actual story you're telling.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I agree. Like I do feel like it's gimmicky,
yeah,
and
I'm incensed.
the fact that she does it, it's almost like her saying, I'm better than grammar.
Yes, I'm
And that
so
gives
much
me the
better.
ick. That gives me
Yes,
the actual ick.
yes. And
I
I don't know
don't know.
anything about her. I don't know anything about her as a
No.
person. She's probably a lovely person. I don't know. I don't know her.
Yeah.
But I don't want to read her books.
No.
And so many people are like, "Oh my god, this book's amazing." She just had a book come out, Intermezzo. The cover
Yeah.
looks great. I love the chessboard cover. It
Right.
looks so cool. I don't want to read it.
Yeah.
I don't want to read it.
One of my teachers and I were bonding briefly over books, and she loves Neil Gaiman, and I was like, oh my God. And I was like, who else do you read? She goes, I really love Sally Rooney. And I was like,
Womp.
yep. And then I'm just smiling politely, and she's saying, oh, she has a new book coming out, and I'm really excited. And I'm thinking, that's great. Trying
You
to
just feel
still
the
sound,
energy drop. You're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I totally agree. Like,
yeah,
I feel like someone would have to give me one of her stories reformatted with quotation marks, new cover, pen name, so I didn't even know it was her.
yeah.
And that's the only way I could give her an honest try, because the fact that she doesn't use quotation marks makes me so mad that I don't want to read it. And I'm
It would be a
sure,
hate read.
yes, I'm sure people are going to hear this or see this and be like, well, Kelly, it's just a quotation mark. Like, who cares? I care. This is the problem. I
Yeah.
care way too much, and I can't do it. One of my favorite nonfiction books that I've ever read in my whole life is Eats, Shoots, and Leaves by Lynn Truss or Truss. I can't believe I'm going to get her name wrong. I will make sure I correct it. It's on my shelf over there. I can't reach it from here though. But it is all about punctuation.
Right.
And you would think it would be so boring. It is actually one of my favorite books ever.
Mm-hmm.
And this would incense her, I feel like. Or she would probably find it interesting and be like, oh, what an interesting
Yeah.
debate, because people like me are getting so ticked off and people like you getting so
Yep.
ticked off when it doesn't really matter. But if it doesn't really matter, why can't you just put them in?
Yep. Yeah, I just don't understand what the commentary is, I guess.
Yes.
What is the purpose for not using them? Do you just not
Mm-hmm.
like using them? Because that's not very interesting. What
No.
what is the actual like purpose behind you choosing to take
Mm-hmm.
this stance?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's talked about it. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm also probably not going to find out because I'm not going to seek her out.
Right?
I don't feel strongly enough about this that I need clarification. I just feel strongly enough about it that I'm not going to read her books.
Yeah.
There are millions of other books in the world I can read that have
Yeah.
quotation marks.
Yes, and she's got millions of readers. So
Yeah.
like she's not
So it doesn't
hurting from
matter.
us too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? She's laughing all the way to the bank without quotation marks. How would I know she's laughing? I would just know innately because human beings know. Yes, I get it. I still want the quotation marks. Read, eat, shoots, and leaves, people.
Ha ha ha.
She laughed. She laughed. Yeah, you gotta go down. Your narrator ick. Yes.
Ugh. That is an ick. I didn't even write that down, but I've talked about it in a lot of episodes, so I'll bring it up
Yes.
again.
Yes.
Narrators who talk with a flat tone when they're not saying dialogue
Mm-hmm.
drives me crazy. If I wanted a robot to read it to me, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could literally do that. But I want personality.
Yeah.
And I
Hey,
hate the
Nikki,
nasally
she said
tone
to
that they use
herself.
when they do it.
Give us an example. I just tried to give an example.
Okay. Give me, like, what's a good sentence somebody could say? Oh, so people are out partying. Oh my God, that's so great. She laughed. I'm
She
having such a
laughed.
great time, Sheila said to her friend. Excuse me? Just be like, Sheila said to her friend as they walk down the street. Like, just flow, people.
Yeah.
Give it some flow. We know
Give
that
it some
she's not
zazz.
saying it because you said Sheila said. We don't need to go into, like, the fifth dimension of
Yeah.
horror for this, like, weird interlude into the next piece of dialogue. I just don't get it.
You know, when I was in theater school, we had so many classes where they focused on when you're saying a line or delivering a line to not trail off at the end of it,
Right.
because as Canadians, we tend to trail off at the end. See, like we start talking and then we go down.
Mhm.
So when we're delivering a line in a scene, it's supposed to be like, I don't know what you just said, I forget, but like, hey guys, that was so much fun, right? You got to keep the level
Mhm.
instead of, hey guys, that was so much fun,
Yeah.
going down and losing the energy. It's like, hey, that was so much fun. Sheila laughed. Like just keep it up.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going down after the dialogue. I thought that
Yeah.
the thing with Canadians is that we up talk. I just
We
did it right
do
now.
yeah, we do up talk, but when we're I guess it's just different when we're playing a role, right? Like we're
Right.
delivering dramatic text and we trail down at the end
Right.
instead of keeping the energy. So it's not
Right.
even the inflection, it's the energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot with people.
Yes.
And it wasn't something I used to notice when I was younger, but after learning what uptalk is, I hear it a lot. You hear it every day from people, which is
Oh
wild.
yeah.
Which is wild.
Which is wild.
Wild?
Yeah.
Because it's like a
I know I
question,
do it.
right? That's the thing. You end
Yep.
every sentence with a bit of a question.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I
Can we
definitely
do
do that a lot.
a whole episode just doing uptalk? That would be so annoying.
I'd
That would
be
be so
like,
annoying.
yeah, I'd be like, you know what I really don't like? I really hate when you go to buy a book in store and the cover feels all like grainy and like the texture, which is on my list. But
Segueing.
yes,
I
if I
love
said
it.
everything like that.
It's
But
so
am I
annoying.
wrong? When you pick up a book and you feel the texture and it's disgusting, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
I
Sometimes I'm
find
not
that
even
a
reading
lot of
it.
books are getting more like that though. Because
Yeah.
the shiny is out.
Yeah.
And now we're in matte land, which I don't hate. Like I like matte
Mhm.
covers, but then
Mhm.
they can lean into that
It's whatever
texture.
finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause like I don't know how you feel about deckled edges, like the paper, the pages that are like kind
I don't
of
like
look old
them.
fashioned. Oh, see, I do. I
Oh,
like
okay.
them. So that doesn't bother me, but that can happen a lot with that type of cover too.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why did you do this? I
Right.
was on your side and then I picked you up and I don't want to bring you in my home.
Right. I don't have a problem with deckled edges texturally. I just don't think
Mm,
they look very good. I would prefer
mm.
if the book was just cut straight.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the texture of them. Like they feel kind of soft, which I guess is nice.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because if
Yeah.
they weren't, they'd be like, hello, paper cuts everywhere. Saw the book.
Yeah.
Like,
While you're
oh my
watching
God.
24 hour or the show 24 over and over again, you're also getting cut by deckled edged paper.
No, no. There were a couple books at work when I worked at Chapters where I would like make a coworker put them away because I didn't want to touch it. And
Oh,
vice
really?
versa. Yes, there was a coworker that would just be like, Kelly, can you put this away? Because I can't touch it. And I'm like, I'm here.
That's so funny.
We're very caring. We were very caring for each other. So
Oh my god. I'm curious to know what you thought I was going to say before I said The Lord of the Rings.
Sally Rooney. I thought
Oh,
you were gonna say
okay.
Sally Rooney. Because we were talking about authors, and I was
Mhm.
like, she's gonna say it.
This, my next hot take is the last one I have, but it is book to TV
Oh.
beef that I
Okay.
have.
A 2-in-1, a twofer. Okay.
So I love Percy Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I was extremely excited for the new series.
Okay.
I hate it.
Oh
I
no.
hate it. I feel like they did not encapsulate the tone of the series at all.
Mm.
They changed things that were, in my opinion, unnecessary. And I'm not talking about Annabeth being black. I don't care that Annabeth is black. Even
Yeah.
though he does talk about her eye color so much in the fucking book that you think they would have gave
Mm-hmm.
her contacts. Because he's like, oh,
Right.
her gray eyes, her gray eyes, her gray eyes.
That's like Harry Potter. Like, why
Yeah.
didn't they just give him contacts?
Yeah. So anyway, I don't care that Annabeth is black because I feel like that's where people's minds are going to. They changed unnecessary things. That's not it.
Okay, yeah.
She was like, she's a really cute kid, and that's fine. I just feel like they made it really serious, and there are a lot of super funny moments in these books.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say that the Logan Lerman movies were bad because objectively they were, but they had funny stuff in them that encapsulated the essence of
Mm,
what The Lightning Thief was like when you read it.
yeah.
And I'm just really not getting that from these books.
That's really interesting to hear from you because I've only read the first book so far, and I only actually watched the first episode of the
Right.
show. I have not watched any since. And maybe I was subconsciously picking up on this tone thing like you're talking about because you're right. It was not very funny, lighthearted adventure. It was certainly an adventure, but it
Mm-hmm.
was very like intense. And his mom dies in the first episode. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is intense. This is not like,
Yeah.
and of course there's going to be intense action scenes, whatever. Like, yeah, there were moments like that in the book, but it didn't feel like a fun ride. It felt
Yeah.
more like scary, but not scary, but yeah,
It felt like they were
serious.
confused about who their audience was. Like, are their
Mm-hmm.
audience, are they shooting for kids now? Or are they shooting for people our age who were kids when the books originally came out? Like the
Mm,
OG fans. Are you making a darker, more mature version of this for adults to enjoy because they
mm-hmm.
loved this world? Or are you catering to 12-year-olds that currently love the world?
Yeah.
Because I feel like they were trying to balance both and it just wasn't really working.
No, I agree with that because yeah, it's like I don't know. I feel like sometimes when it comes to kids content, like whether it's like just because we come from theater, like whether it's like a play or a TV show or a book, whatever, a lot of times people dumb it down because it's for
Right.
kids, right? And I don't think making this lighthearted, fun in terms of tone would be dumbing it down. It's like
No.
that's literally the tone of the book. It's magical. He's a half-blood Greek descendant thing, like
Yeah.
it's magical, mystical, it's action-packed, it's a hero story. Like, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
myth. It's not gritty. Like they're
I
trying to
know.
yeah.
I wanted the laughs. I'm currently
Mhm.
reading The Lost Heroes, which is a sequel series to the Percy Jackson series, and this is my first time reading them. I didn't read them when I was younger. I don't have any like memories, like nostalgic memories connected with this, and I'm still laughing a lot. And I'm not laughing because I laughed when I was 12 and I remember how funny that was. I'm laughing because it's genuinely funny. In
Yeah.
the second book, Percy's running away from these Gorgons and they have name tags on and he has dyslexia. And so one of them is her name's like Steno and he keeps
Okay.
saying Beano. He's like, "Oh, and Beano over here has this food tray." And I'm laughing so hard.
Yeah.
And those moments were not in the series at all. I'm like, I want
Ugh.
that Percy
Yeah.
that we love.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer, but
Yeah.
what can you do? I do like think I probably will try to watch it again at some point, but
Mm.
I'm like maybe when I've accepted that it's not going to be the same and I can try to enjoy it for what it is. But right now I'm
Yeah.
not at that point.
Yeah. Well, let me know what you think because, like I said, I've only watched the one.
Yeah.
And I got Disney Plus again to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, now I've been watching like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and stuff. So I ended up keeping it. But
Yeah.
I was like, I'm only getting it so I can watch this. Then I'll cancel it. And I haven't canceled it.
Yep. That's
Story
always
of my
how it goes
life.
with those.
Right. Story of my life. Okay, I have one. I have
Yep.
two.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have many, but I have two that I definitely want to talk about
Yeah.
because I feel like we can talk about it.
Yep.
Number one, romance books written by men. I have no interest.
Me either.
I have no interest. And I don't care if that makes me sound like a bitch because I will say it for the world to hear. I have no interest. If you want to write this book for women, a romance book, I feel like the only way I'm going to read it is, and maybe I should preface, a romance book that's like catered to straight people. So like a man and a woman are the couple.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Not LGBTQ romance.
Yeah, that's
Because
a whole
that's
different.
different. Yes.
Yeah.
If we're talking like white, cis, hetero, stereotypical romance books, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a man writing this book, the only way I'm going to read it is if you have a pen name that is feminine.
Ruby
Because
Dixon. I'm convinced.
like we don't know. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have no clue. But I can't. I have no interest in reading a book written by a man. I'm picturing James Patterson here writing
Yep.
this romance and I'm like, "Ew."
Have you ever seen those TikToks of those girls reading romance novels written by men? And it's
Mhm.
like, her breasts looked at me with desire. And it's like, breasts can't do that,
Yeah,
first of
her
all. And
breasts were
like,
heavy with desire, like two
yeah,
cantaloupes. Like, ew, what the fuck?
yeah. Like,
That's
no, they're
not.
probably just big, and she's probably thinking about how much her back fucking hurts from how big
Yes.
her boobs are. So don't flatter
Yes.
yourself.
No.
Ugh,
It's
men.
true. It's true. Like, so that was one of my big ones that I had to like big
Yeah.
icks that I'm
Like
just
the way
like,
that they describe things is just so, so gross.
you know what? I feel like I told you this ages ago. Way back when the movie was coming out, I tried to read the book Red Sparrow.
Okay.
That was that Jennifer Lawrence like
Yep.
spy movie.
Yep.
And I'm all for a badass lady kicking ass, taking names, as you
Yeah.
know. Okay. I freaking love that stuff. So I
Yep.
was like, I want to read this book. I'm going to give it a go. It's a spy thriller. She's an assassin. Let's go. Every single man that she came across in the book immediately wanted to have sex with her. And I was like,
Magic
okay,
powers.
I get you're a spy and that you were like trained in seduction, but I'm talking even her coworkers.
Right.
Literally every man she even shared air with is like thinking these lewd thoughts about her and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is disgusting. Like, this sounds like the author is really wanting something that he's not getting. And I feel like I'm like intruding on a private matter that I shouldn't be here for. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, it's just uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So, yeah, I didn't finish that book. I was really disappointed, especially since I forget the author because I didn't like the book. And yeah, but I think the blurb said that he used to work for the CIA or something. So like some of this stuff is like real, right? Or like inspired by truth and like, sketchy spy stuff. And I'm like, I don't have any interest in reading this anymore because everyone is misogynist and it's disgusting.
Yep.
So
Disgusting.
disgusting. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I
I
definitely
can't.
understand that. And I
Right?
agree. I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm reading a Rick Riordan book right now, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't read, I feel like, a lot of books by men anymore.
Same. Same.
And it's not a conscious decision.
No.
Um, but even like I mean, I've been reading a lot of like thriller stuff, and the majority of them are women.
Yeah. And I wonder if that's more of like a kind of like a societal directive, if you will, because like more women read than men
Right.
and more women read fiction than men read fiction. So
Right.
maybe more of the male authors gravitate towards nonfiction works.
I don't know.
I don't know. But I think there's definitely some kind of correlation because like it's no secret that more women read fiction than men. Like you can
Right.
look that up easily. It's like
Yeah.
clear as day. So, for whatever reason, cuz we love men who read. We are all for readers, you know?
Oh yeah.
If I see someone, I was waiting to vote the other day, and a girl walked in and she had a book, and I creeped on her so hard to see what book she was reading. I did all the tricks in the book. I did the, oh, I'm bored, I'm just looking. Okay. You know, like I was like trying
Yep.
to see what book she was reading. And I
You
did
should have
see.
just asked.
No, because I don't want to be that person. Hi, what are you reading?
I
Someone you don't
am. I
know.
do it all the time.
I can't. I'm too nervous. But I did run into someone we know. We both know. I'll tell you
Oh.
after. In a cafe, a local cafe, and I was like, "What you reading?" Because I knew who it was, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, hi," you know. But I felt so awkward and bad because, like, if I'm reading in public, I'm like, "Don't talk to me, please."
Right. No, I'm like, please ask me if it's a book I like. I'm like, please ask me about the book so I can tell you that you should read it.
I'm gonna like plan a meet cute for us. You're gonna be reading. I'll be like, "What you reading?" Can you tell me?
And we can look like total strangers and everybody will be like super weirded out when I'm like, please sit down. Let me tell you about this book. The Book of Mormon. That'd be a weird plot twist.
Right? Oh my god. Okay,
What you reading? The Bible.
It's like that meme. What's your favorite book? The Bible, the Bible, the Bible, the Bible. Like it's
Ew.
which like whatever, you do you. I have not read the Bible. I know very little stories, very few stories. All my biblical stories I know are from musicals or movie musicals. Pretty much.
Yeah, that checks out.
Sister Act, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, Jesus Christ Superstar, which I
Yep.
was confused about at times.
Yeah, I think after we saw that, you were like, could you explain a few things to me?
Because like I know that story, but in that context I was like, what? Because they have to cut things out, right, to
Yeah.
make it flow.
Yeah.
And so when I saw it live the first time, they had like a New York Stock Exchange ticker going around, like day 1 or day 2, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like what does so whatever, it tells you a lot about my upbringing. Protestant. I was like, I don't know what this is. But okay, this is not related, but I feel like I need to bring it up. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to know, is there anything you see on a book cover that when you see it, you're like, I don't want to read that book? Or like, I highly doubt I'm going to read that book. And I'm talking like the actual design of the cover.
Photographs. Like if it's a photograph of real things.
Like a real person.
Yeah, or like real objects.
Oh.
I want it. I really don't like books that don't have illustrative covers.
Okay. Interesting.
Like I'm trying to. Oh, this is a book I really loved when I was younger, but I never would have picked it up now.
Okay.
Spanking Shakespeare. So it has like a guy on the cover. It's like a photo of a guy leaning against a wall for people who are listening and not watching. I hate stuff like this. If it was an illustration of a guy leaning up against a wall, I'd be like, oh, okay, whatever.
I think I read that book when I was a teen.
It was so freaking funny.
Right?
So funny.
Yeah. But I know that style of cover is so like early 2000s.
Yeah, this too. The what are they called?
I have no clue.
To All the Boys I Loved Before. All the Jenny Han books have like a photograph of a girl. I hate it. I hate it.
You know what I was gonna say? I hate this is like, I don't know. I feel like it's just trending right now and I'm ready for the trend to move on. I hate seeing skulls on book covers.
Oh, yeah. That is trending.
Because they normally look so bad. Like it's like they picked the worst royalty-free image and didn't do anything to it. And I think I have one right here. One sec. This has nothing to do with the story inside, okay? I want to preface that. because I like this author a lot. I hate this cover. I have not read it yet. I think because of the cover. This has a small skull right there.
Mm-hmm.
I just find the cover not really great. But for people not watching, it is The Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. I love this author. I want to read this book. This cover is making me cringe with that skull there.
The cover looks like AI, or like they clip arted stuff and stuck it together.
It stuck it together not well.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure a lot of designers do that, but it's how you do it. You know what I mean?
I just don't understand too, after she did the wolf and the princess
For the
girl.
Wolf.
Yeah. That was a
Yeah.
beautiful cover. It was like
Yes.
watercolor painting kind of vibe.
So nice.
So
like
beautiful.
Folk art.
And to go from that, where there was clearly a budget put into it, to that which looks like it's supposed to be a special edition. It has like sprayed edges, I think.
That's the Fairy Loot edition, but it's
Okay.
pretty much the same as the real one.
Yeah. So
yeah. There's a
what the
book
hell?
coming out. There's a book coming out right now that I'm going to have you Google the image
Okay.
because this is what I'm thinking when I think of skull books, because there's so many that look like this.
Yeah.
It's called Phantasma, PH. I don't know the author. It's coming out or just came out at the time of this recording. It's like a dark romance, fantasy, whatever.
It's by Kaylee Smith.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like for people watching.
Yeah.
This is the quintessential Kindle Unlimited cover.
Yes!
Kindle Unlimited covers are skulls galore.
Yes! Look up
and flowers.
Nikki St.
Skulls
Crow.
and flowers.
Nikki St. Crow, the first book, that's the one I think of that I actually like the cover of. Because it's a stylized skull.
Yeah, I do like the covers for the Lost Boys series, or the whatever it's called. Yeah, I don't think it's called the Lost Boys series, but people know what I mean if they're familiar with it.
Yes, because again, I don't know Kaylee Smith. I don't know the book Phantasma. It could be great. I'm not saying anything against the book. I'm saying the cover itself, I look at and I'm like, ugh. But Nikki St. Crow, that book cover, I love because it's a stylized skull. It looks spooky.
Yeah.
It's different. It's not like we took a skull from Pixabay or whatever the heck. And
Canva.
just... yeah, you know? And
well,
no
I think
shade
that's the
Canva.
thing.
I love Canva.
When you read the books and you look at the skull on the front, they're all different skulls for each of the 4 books, and they correlate like to the people. I don't even know what their names are anymore. I like finish reading things and it just totally goes out of my mind. The dark one, who's Peter's like right hand guy, and one of his eyes is black, and so the skull has that kind of hole that's mimicking what his face looks like. So you know the book is primarily focused on him. Now I want to read them again. They're so good. They're so bad.
I think another one came out. Another one came out this year.
Is it part of the series? I think it's like a sequel series or something.
Well, it's the Tink stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, but
sorry if you heard Lily grumble so loud.
I didn't.
Well, someone might hear it. I don't know. We'll see. Sorry, my dog is cute and has thoughts also. Okay.
She also loves Peter Pan retellings.
I cannot. Okay, I think to finish this off, I would love if we could both just say first name that comes to mind of a classic book or author that you have no interest in, preconceived notion, no interest. Go.
Charles Dickens.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I will never.
Virginia Woolf. Virginia Woolf.
Yeah. Okay.
No interest. No interest. I have read one Charles Dickens for school. Hated it first half. Loved the second half. Tried to read another book. Couldn't do it.
Yep.
Couldn't do it. Virginia Woolf, I saw the movie The Hours when I was a kid. So depressing because it's about her life.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I don't want to read her books and be in her mind because what a dark place.
I do feel like I want to read The Bell Jar. Do I feel
Mm,
like I will read The Bell Jar? I don't know. Like, probably not. But it is something that I feel that I want to aspire to do. But it's not a make it or break it for me.
no.
I did really
Yeah,
like the play Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
sure.
That was great.
Different.
Not about
Yeah.
Virginia Woolf, but
No.
I actually
Yeah.
don't even know why it's called that, but it was a really great play.
Well,
Weird
you know
familial
what?
drama.
Yeah. I feel like Virginia Woolf for me, I would only want what I want out of her is I want to go to something like a wedding, let's say. I
Yep.
get stuck sitting next to someone I don't know. We're drinking. I've had 3 glasses of wine. They've had who knows how many. And they start talking to me saying, "What do you like to read?" "Yeah, I like to read." "What do you like to read?" "I like Virginia Woolf." "Oh, you do? I've never read her." Then they can give me the lowdown on the bell jar and I'll go,
Yep.
"Oh, okay. Cool.
Yep.
Cool." I
You
don't need
just
to
want
read
a
it.
TED talk about Virginia Woolf.
But I don't want to have to pay to go to a TED Talk. I'm
No, no.
not seeking it out.
No, no.
If
But
someone brought it to me, I would receive it.
right. Maybe YouTube will bring it to you someday. Maybe there'll be a Virginia Woolf expert on a TED Talk someday and you can watch it on YouTube. And then you could drink before you watch it. And then it could be like you're at the wedding getting this conversation from this person you don't know.
But then if I seek it out on YouTube, I have sought it out. I'm not wasting my
I'll
time.
send it to you so that it's seeking you.
Thanks so much, Nikki. Always
Anything for
looking
you.
out for me. Do you have anything pressing you have to get off your chest
I
in
don't
this
think
episode?
so, but I feel like we should do this more because this was great.
Yes. Right? I feel this Festivus is for the rest of us, okay?
Yep, it is.
I feel lighter. I feel great. Maybe some people listening feel differently if we had things to say against some of their loves. But you know what, everyone? This is for fun.
Yep,
I'm not doing a disclaimer because I hate that. This is a fun conversation. And maybe
yep.
this is a disclaimer. I don't mean it as one.
And if you don't agree with us, good for you. You have your own
Yeah.
mind and your own opinions, and you
Yes.
are totally welcome to have those.
Yes. And we would love to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
Keep it cute, as Jess says, Jess Owens, keep it cute. Because we love a good old conversation.
Yep.
Keep it cute. Keep it cute and classy. So, with all that being said, that's it for us today. If you want to keep up to date on all of our bookish antics, icks, preconceived notions, what have you, off air, you can follow us on Instagram at BYO Book Podcast or on TikTok at Bring Your Own Book Podcast. And remember, if you're a white cis het man, I don't want to read your romance book unless you have a female pen name. So yeah. See you later. Bye.
Bye.